I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hello guys, welcome to, you ready for it? Call to Stage with me, Amber Davies. Let's talk about this. Let's just delve in. So, your 5-minute call, thank you so much. You served us so well, but we wanted to relaunch. We've got bigger and better ideas for this podcast, and we thought, why not, in the process, change the name of our podcast? Because if you think about it logistically, you've got your 5-minute call and then you have your call to stage. So we're getting closer and closer to actually getting on the stage. But it's been such a lovely process with my team, workshopping new names, new artwork. We have some really exciting news coming. So yeah, we just wanted like a fresh new vibe. And I want to just say right now, I'm so grateful because when I started this podcast and I met James and Poppy, we didn't really know how this was going to go. I definitely saw a gap in the market and an opportunity to bring a musical theatre podcast to our lives. But I just had no idea how successful it was going to be and how much you guys were going to enjoy it, and it just fills my heart with so much joy, and I'm just so grateful. And I love doing this, like from the bottom of my heart. I absolutely love getting guests on, talking about their experiences, bringing this knowledge to people's lives, because like I've said before, I had no access to anything like this when I was growing up. I actually didn't even think that being on stage was a career that I could do. And so it's like, it's for everyone really. Those who think, am I going to go to drama school or are in drama school, or even mums that are like, is this an actual career that my daughter or son can go down? And it is. And that's why we are here to talk about it. I would like to address the elephant in the room. You're probably thinking, who is she? Why does she look like a catfish? Why can she not open her eyes fully? I am on a week's holiday right now. Okay. So I've just finished a 7-week stint of the tour. I've got a week's holiday and then the madness starts again. I'm doing 3 weeks in Ireland after this and I can't wait. My poor liver is going to be in bits. But I just need a week free of no makeup. I'm just slobbing out this week. I know I'm here. I've had an amazing day recording with the best guests ever. You guys are going to go crazy for them. But yeah, I just thought, do you know what? Today's a no makeup day and my hair's going on top of my head. And my skin needs a break. Seriously. Where do I start? When did I last catch up with you guys? Oh, a traumatic thing has happened in my life. It's the first time ever this has ever happened to me. And I was like, I must talk about this on the podcast because things like this actually happen. And I don't think anybody talks about it in the industry, and it's about going off mid-show. So I've never in my entire career gone off mid-show before from being poorly. Apart from when I walked into the door. I had to come off in the interval then, but obviously I just couldn't continue with blood dripping down my face. So yeah, that my virginity was lost. Mid-show off virginity was lost when I walked into the door. Can we zoom in on my scar or what? Guys, it's actually getting better. I am still villain-esque type, but I've got CO2 laser happening on it and I've got this amazing serum, which is like good for scars. So the process is happening. Anyway, enough about walking into the door. Story time. Okay, so I basically had to go off mid-show. We were in Sunderland. We were on our 2nd week of Sunderland. And at the beginning of the week, our company manager had put a message on the group saying there's some virally bug going around. It was obviously affecting a lot of shows across the country and in the West End where people are having to cancel shows because you know what a virusy bug's like. It will rip through you like wildfire, especially as a touring cast. You live in each other's pockets, you know? Anyway, so we'd had this message at the start of the week and I didn't really think anything of it. It was a Wednesday afternoon. We were just about to start our matinee. I felt fine all morning, like myself. I was laughing with my wiggy like half an hour before, having jokes, eating breakfast, eat lunch type thing, like a brunch. Come down to side stage, ready for the opening, and I was standing in the wing and I felt a little bit unsteady on my feet, which isn't really like me because I've been wearing these boots for like over 6 months now. Like I'm used to my costume. And I thought to myself, oh, it's because we've gone from day to night in 30 seconds. Because obviously it's daytime outside. And then as soon as you get into the wings, it's dark. You know, it feels like nighttime. Anyway, I didn't think anything of it. But I just thought, oh my God, why am I so wobbly? Start the show. And then during my first song, Anywhere But Here, my mouth started getting all watery. And I thought, oh, that's horrible. Like, you know, when you're like getting a bit nauseous, and it was a really icky feeling. And I remember I was thinking about feeling nauseous rather about thinking about what I was singing. Anyway, I come off stage after that number and I have like a 30-second turnaround until I'm back on stage again. And I just saw a dresser standing there, Maddie. She's gorgeous. And I said, Maddie, I feel a little bit nauseous. And she went, oh, do you want me to go and get the company manager? And I said, no, I should be all right. I just need to tell somebody because, you know, you can feel some type of way. But in my gut, I knew I needed to tell somebody. And then just as me and Ollie were about to walk on, I looked at him and I said, just to let you know, I don't feel 100%. And then the guys are just, oh my gosh, it went so downhill from there. Went on stage to do this scene, which in this moment, Viv's very upbeat, you know, she's like dancing around Edward. And I just felt like my reality was getting further and further away. Everything around me was slowing down. The words were coming out of my mouth, but it was like my soul was leaving my body. And I turned to Ollie and I must have gone like completely green or completely grey. And I think he could just see in my eyes that I'd like gone. So we actually had to exit the stage mid-scene, and then they got me a bin as a bucket, and they put a cold compress on my neck. And then we had to stop the show temporarily. Obviously, at this point, I don't know what's wrong with me. I was like shaking. And I was riddled with guilt because I just thought, oh my gosh, I've stopped the show. Like that, for me, that was like my main priority, like not the fact that I was feeling poorly and that had just happened. And I definitely couldn't have continued with the scene or the show, but I was just riddled with this guilt of, I've ruined this performance for the audience that I've like paid good money to come and see this iconic show. Yeah, my amazing first cover, Bex, was literally in her dressing room, makeup free. She got ready in like 7 minutes, wig, everything, flew on and saved the day. And I'm just so, so grateful for her. But then I went home and I was wiped out for 4 days. 4 solid days. I was like horizontal, nausea next to the next level. I was just like weak. And it just spread through our cast like wildfire. And it was like a mega cut show on the Friday. It was really scary because it had never happened to me before. And, you know, you're on stage, you've got all of these people watching you, you've got lights in your face, you're like slowly getting, like it literally came on within like minutes, like whatever this thing was. And then Ollie unfortunately got it at the end of the week. So sorry, Ollie. But for me, what I wanted to talk about was the going back to work. Because it was so scary what had happened, I was really scared that it was going to happen again. Because the thing is with me is I will always go back to work too early. That one day too early when I'm not exactly, you know, at like 90% me, I'll always push my luck. Yeah, I remember calling my company manager on the Saturday saying, I really want to come in, but I'm a bit scared because I'm scared it's going to happen again and I'm going to feel that way again on stage. And he came back with the most wonderful response, and that's why I wanted to tell you. He said, Amber, I don't think your mind and body have aligned yet, so have another day. And I just thought, do you know what? I feel like performers are so hard on themselves for always showing up, always being the best version of yourself, whether that's college, whether that's school, whether that's work and doing 8 shows a week. Sometimes you have to listen to your body and your mind. And I think we need to eliminate this feeling of guilt on, oh my God, I'm not doing good enough. People have come to see me in a show and I'm not there, but you're the most important person. You have to be feeling 100% or 90% to give the audience the show that they deserve, you know? But I was just, anyway, ripped the Band-Aid off, went back and all was well. It was all just kind of, it had built up in my head because I was just so worried that it was going to happen again. But yeah, that was a first for me. I know a lot of people, it's like a taboo thing to talk about in our industry. I feel like, oh, I went off mid-show. Like, it's like a bit embarrassing. But actually, you made the wrong call. You thought you could do it. I know it's not ideal, especially like from producers and like stage management and things like that and audience members. But, you know, just be honest with yourself. I can't continue with the show. You've got to communicate. I think that's probably one of the most important things that we can do. But I was like, I must talk about this on the podcast because things like this happen. You know, it's not all tits and teeth and rainbows and sparkles. You know, it's difficult. We put our bodies through the most, it's like a marathon every day. You know, I remember seeing a clip that Nicole Scherzinger, I think she'd done a show, the one show it could have been, and she spoke about how performers are athletes. And I genuinely believe that the things we do with our bodies and our voices and our minds, you know, we repeat something all the time to the highest of standard, and we do a good job, you know. We should be really proud of ourselves. But yes, like I said, I just wanted to shed a light on those type of moments which hadn't even happened to me before. So I just thought, wow, there is a first for everything. And then another thing I wanted to talk on here before I start asking some of your wonderful questions that we've had in the box, I also wanted to touch base on skin, because it's a really big deal in this industry, I think. We have to wear so much makeup every single day, and that's all genders. We go on stage, we sweat, we're under the lights, we've got all of this makeup on, and I just wanted to talk to you about the troubles that I've had with my skin and what I've done to help the journey, because at the end of the day, you're on stage performing to hundreds, sometimes thousands of people, and you're not your most confident self because your skin just feels like it needs a breather. And that's exactly why this week that I'm on holiday, yes, I'm here filming, but I had to give my skin a break. My skin journey is I had amazing skin all of my teenage life, and I always knew it was going to backfire. I just knew one day it was going to bite me on the arse. And then during Back to the Future, bearing in mind I'd done this was my 3rd contract, doing 8 shows a week and putting all this makeup on. Actually, that's a lie. Do you know what? I did have a bit of trouble in 9 to 5, and that was because they would glue my wig down to my face. And guys, I used to just have rashes like that where they'd glue me, and then I'd be putting this like glue remover on my skin every night, which was like quite intense, and it was quite like chemical. So then I obviously had like an open conversation with the wiggies, and we ended up just pinning it in the end. But you know, you have to go through those type of things to know that's a bit too invasive for my skin, because I don't know about you guys, but I have very, very sensitive skin. I had eczema, like intense eczema, until I was about 11, 12. So I've always had to like use really soft, sensitive, friendly products for my skin. Anyway, jump forward to Back to the Future. It was like I woke up one morning and everything about my skin had changed. The texture, it was like I just had developed acne overnight. I had some serious cystic spots all down my face. And I just remember Well, firstly, I was trying to give my skin a break when I could, so like during the day before a show. But I didn't want to leave the house because I felt so ugly. And, you know, I was with Ben at the time, and he said, it always feels worse when it's on your face, doesn't it? And he was like, you're beautiful. Like, it's just temporary. But I just remember thinking, I can't leave the house without any makeup on. But it was like conflict emotions because I needed to let my skin breathe. But then at the same time, I didn't want to go out without any makeup on. I was just in this vicious cycle because then I have to wear makeup to be on the stage. And it was getting worse and worse. And I just felt like I was going down this hole and I just didn't know how to get out. And I, went to so many people to get answers into, what was going on. I even did like a allergy test to see if I was intolerant to anything. It actually did come back. I was slightly intolerant to a couple of things. One of them was wheat, which I did cut out for a while, but I just couldn't let it go. So I now just have small amounts. But when I tell you, I have been on a journey with it. I have spent so much money trying to sort it out, and it's still not perfect now. Like, I definitely have scarring on my face. But what I find is that I found a good routine for me now, especially doing 8 shows a week. And I think I've actually turned a bit of a corner playing Viv, where I feel really confident on stage. Yes, there's moments where I have spots, but it's not like it's affecting me mentally anymore. Because I just feel like, when you're on stage and you're performing and you've got to be this confident actress or singer, but something's holding you back. And, skin shouldn't, but it does. Like, it does for everyone. Like, that's a universal feeling. So what I basically did is I trialed and tested so many products, and now I've just found a good routine for me. I've definitely had to eliminate all types of oil heavy products because it just triggers my skin so much. I have found a really good foundation that I wear on the show. I actually found that during Back to the Future. It's an Estee Lauder one. And if anybody is interested in knowing what my skincare routine is, or what makeups I use, like, please let me know and I can give you guys a full list of everything I use, if that's what you're interested in. But it's been a lot. It's things that we don't think about. Like, oh my God, I'm living my dream. Yay, I'm doing 8 shows a week. I'm playing a leading lady. Well, a lot of things suffer, and skin is definitely one of them. But one thing I will say is I have invested in an LED face lamp, and the red light therapy has been so good for my breakouts. It's just been like a game changer. I do it for 20 minutes a night. It is quite a big investment to purchase the lamp, but I would say it is 1,000,000,000% worth it. This isn't like an ad in any way. I'm not getting paid for any of this. This is just my experience. I've just definitely seen a huge difference, especially my spots don't feel like my type of spots anymore. They're smaller. This LED light like tackles the spot like deep into your skin. It's not like a surface thing. And like my glow, I feel like I've got like my glow back. I feel like, yeah, I found it now. So hopefully, it's only up from here. But these are all real things, and I know, oh my gosh, some of the girls that I'm mutual friends with in this industry, I've seen their Instagram posts saying, I'm just having a nightmare. Like, we've all been there. It is something that affects us all. Okay, I've got a good question here. What was the first musical you ever saw? I went to see The Lion King in London with my whole family. It was the first musical I ever saw. I literally remember it like it was yesterday. I'd bought a t-shirt. I think I was about 7, and it was just, it's just an iconic musical, isn't it? Especially me and my sister were huge Disney fans when we were little. So just to see that production on the stage. But actually something happened to me just before. We were staying in London and we'd gone out for food, and I actually got a fishbone stuck in my throat. And That's how I remember it. I went to see my first West End show and got a fishbone stuck in my throat all on the same day. It was great. Ooh, I've got here 6 or Heathers. I have to admit something to you guys. I've never seen Heathers. Is that bad? I've literally never seen it. I know so many people who have been in the show. I've just never had the opportunity to see it. So I'm going to have to go with 6. And also, one of my best friends in the whole world originated Jane Seymour. So I will always be a 6 stan. And actually, in this new and improved version of the pod, we might have another original 6 girl on as a guest. ... Go-to audition song. What is my go-to audition song? Okay. Well, funnily enough, in college, I used to sing One Perfect Moment from Bring It On. And then I went on to play her in London. Like, that's just crazy. But it was my audition song in college. And I think now, I don't know, would it be an ick to sing that song in another audition? Maybe. But I probably would. I just love it. And it fits my voice so perfectly. And I feel like I've just been singing it for so long, like I could sing it in my sleep now. So it would have to be One Perfect Moment from Bring It On. How have you found ways into audition rooms you've not initially been able to get into? Guys, I am a bit cutthroat. So if I know a show is coming to London and I want to be in for it, I kind of will just plant the seed way in advance with my agent, maybe throw in a couple of voice notes and phone calls just to remind them, I really want to get in for that. So I would say be persistent with your agent. The thing is with me is I can't take no for an answer, so I will find my way no matter what. But yeah, it's just, I think you have to have a real honest relationship with your agent. I would like to go in for these shows. I wouldn't want to go into those shows. And like, I've even had things come in to the office where an audition's come up and I've said, no, I don't want to do it because I just don't want to do it. You know, there's the power of saying no and just going for what actually serves you. Yeah, I'm on my agent. I mean, she's represented me since I was 19, so she is very used to me now. But I just think as well, like, do your research, know what's coming, know what's around know what's going into, you know, the Curve, what's going in Manchester, what's touring, what's coming into the West End, what's off West End. Just keep building your knowledge and thinking, do you know what? I actually would really love to do that. Only you will know if you do your research what's coming in and what you're good for. You know, I'm not the type of person that will wait for the phone to go. I will always call my agent and say, right, what's happening next? What's happening now? I'm not like I'm just going to sit by the phone and wait for my agent to call until the next audition comes up. Like, you do have to, it's all about work ethic, and you have to go out there and kind of be a go-getter yourself. Oh my God, I don't think I've spoken to you guys about The Notebook. Ben and I went to New York for a week and we went to see Back to the Future, Sweeney Todd, and The Notebook, because I've just had a question here and it says one show you really want to be in. And guys, I would be sound number 1 on The Notebook if I could be. If I wasn't up for any of the roles, I would be a dresser because I'm obsessed with the music. If you haven't listened to the soundtrack, go and listen to it. Joy Woods, I'm just speechless. I am just like, I am her number 1 fan, and I'm manifesting that she's going to be on this pod one day. I just know it. But heartbreaking, like literally heartbreaking. Ben was looking at me. I was like hyperventilating, sobbing. And I've never been in a crowd before where like everybody's sobbing at the same time. Honestly, I think I could have slept for about a week after that because my emotions were just everywhere. But they told the story so well. The vocals, oh my gosh, mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Also, whilst I'm on the Broadway hype, there is a musical out there called The Outsiders. They just won a Tony recently for Best New Musical. Go and listen to that soundtrack. I mean, amazing. The guys in that show, their vocals are on another level. Different league. What is a show that you'd love to be in but will never be in? I love that. One word. Hamilton. I would do anything to be in that show. I'll never be in it, but it is my favourite musical of all time. I went to watch it in Edinburgh because they were on tour. So Pretty Woman and Hamilton had like a night out together, which was fab. I have no words for Hamilton. Like, even when Ben and I flew to New York, like, we went to Alexander Hamilton's grave because I am that obsessed with it. Do you know what I love? I love a musical that educates you. And for me, I'm just obsessed with how that story is told in the way that it is. I think Lin-Manuel is just one of the most talented beings. And I was lucky enough to sing his material. You know, he also wrote Bring It On. I'll never be in the show, but in my dreams I can be. Please let me know what your favourite musical is in the world. Like, what is your number one musical? Let us know in the comments. Let's see if we can find a winner, an all-round winner. But thank you so much for listening. That was just like, I'd love to do solo eps every once in a while just to like have a chit chat and keep you updated on life. Lots happen, you know. But I just, like I said, I'm so grateful. I feel so proud that we are just getting bigger, we're expanding, we're new and we're improved. And I can continue doing this because of you guys. So I just can't thank you enough. And I hope you enjoy next week's ep because it's not one to miss. Thank you for listening.